Aloha, hey, it's Julie Ziemelis with 365 Hawaii and 365 Hawaii Group with Keller Williams Realty, and I'm here today with my man, Lance Owens, and he is with LUVA Real Estate, and he's also in leadership. He'll tell you more about what he's learning about what's happening in the state of Hawaii, but we are going to be talking about the West Hawaii real estate update.
Hey guys, Lance Owens here. I know she introduced me already, but I'm used to that.
Owens.
Yeah, so
when you pick up the phone, it's Lance. Is it the Lance?
So, real quick, the number of sales in Kona has dropped by 45% when we talk about residential homes. So that's pretty big. That's huge. 45% drop in sales.
And that's year over year.
Yeah, it's year over year. And so we're talking about, pricing and availability, that makes everything to do with the actual cost and supply and demand is the word I was looking for. So,
right.
So the interesting thing, if you watch the last few months, we've been having this exact same problem. So right now, new listings for the Big Island last year were 306 new listings for the month of January. This year there's 191 new listings. Okay, so that's 115 homes.
Yeah, lower.
Less than
right, and this is when we're supposed to be having our busy season. This is when all the snowbirds are here, and everyone put their house on the market, and they're getting ready to sell to all those people who are here on the island.
Yeah, totally. So we should, and it's not happening. So it's the same thing. The sellers don't want to sell because they don't want to go buy a new home at a higher interest rate. They might just add on a room or rent out a room if they've got extra space, whatever they want to do. They're finding ways to make things work for a while. And then, of course, the buyers are a little bit nervous because they've been on this false thing of thinking that interest rates will forever be 3%.
And they're waiting for the interest rates to drop.
Right. So I actually tried to get an over or under bet going with my office. I think we don't gamble. I'm sorry, that would be a gentleman's bet.
Yeah.
Over and under on interest rates, I say they're going to be about 5.5 by July or August.
You think they're going to drop?
Yeah, they're going to drop.
Okay.
More.
Well, I kind of heard that the Fed says we want to make sure that we get this right on inflation, and the jobs market is too good.
It's too good, and they just dropped the rates again, a few days ago, right?
I thought they raised the rates.
Well, the Feds did, but the banks dropped theirs.
Okay.
So really quick, I know you get your mortgage people on here, but to really touch base on maybe people that are watching more just this report than the other. But typically there is a 1.8% difference. For the last 50 years, the average has been 1.8% difference on the Fed rate and the interest rates.
Okay. That's the yield spread between the
spread,
bond market or whatever.
Although they'll tell you every time it comes out, it has nothing to do with each other. It has everything to do with each other.
I know. That's what I've heard. Like, the Feds raised the rate. It has nothing to do with mortgages. I'm like, yes, it does.
Yeah, everything to do with it. So, but the interesting thing is we're almost at a 3% spread right now, okay? So even if the Feds do nothing from here on out, just if we get down to that 1.8 spread, we're going to be at 5.5% interest. So, and guys, for you young ones out there, you don't realize that's a good rate, okay?
Yeah, 5.5 is great.
So they left them too low for too long.
Yeah, and that messed up the economy.
Yep. So that they caused that.
Yes, they did.
And so they're now making you pay for it. But I think it'll come in and settle around the 5.5% for a while.
Okay, and you're thinking that's going to happen by
July or August is my over or under.
Okay.
And I might have said $100, but I don't know if I.
Okay.
I don't know if I said that.
I'm thinking November.
You're thinking November.
November, just because.
Did she just accept my bet, you guys?
Okay, I'll bet him. Well, I also want to see what what's happening with what they said, that they have just never seen a job market like this.
Right. And it just keeps going.
Right.
And going,
it's like,
and going.
In fact, I guess Janet Yellen said, we can't be in a recession if we only have a 3% unemployment rate in this country. So it's like this, so it was so funny that, I don't know about you, because, he's a little older than me, but back in the day, that they said, cyclical experiences, they all stay the same. And then just in the last 5 years, like, no, this has never happened before. This hasn't happened before. This hasn't happened before. This hasn't happened before.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of this isn't happening before. So it's very difficult to forecast what's going to happen. We keep hearing, this has never happened before. It's never happened before. It's never happened before. right?
It is. I mean, because nobody's been through a pandemic before.
Right. What it did to the country and the crazy
craziness, and we've never had social media to create such divide in the country.
Yeah. And we haven't had Putin taking over Ukraine.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happening.
I mean,
in fact, that's what they said. They said you always have to worry about the black swan. So when you're thinking about your forecasting, no one really completely thought what would happen with Ukraine and how it affected the economy. Right. So it's always like, okay. But in that, okay, you guys, I haven't told this to shit. We are getting a lot of people actually calling us now and asking us to help find a mortgage professional. A lot of people actually are looking more on the east side than they are on west side. But I think that maybe the buyers have said, I got to do something now. I can't keep waiting. I've been waiting long enough. Now's the time. And we've been pushing the fact that, I mean, look, he just told you guys that seriously we have no inventory. So there are still home price reductions happening in this market.
Yes.
So we are talking about the fact that this might be that moment in this housing market to come in as a buyer, because you're not competing with everybody and their dog. Like the house that we just bought, it has like an income potential experience. We could have been competing with 15 investors, and there's no way we would have gotten that.
Yeah.
But they kind of pulled out thinking, I'm going to wait. So I'm saying that people coming in right now have some negotiation power, right?
If we take everything we know from the past and apply it to what's happening today, I think you're right. I think that I heard that nationwide that the mortgage application rates are up 25%.
Yeah.
So that's huge.
Right.
And
that means that the tsunami is starting to build up again. With people saying, okay, I want to get in a position to get my mortgage, right?
Yep.
And the people that we are like working with, they're again the ones that call us because we have the 365 white channel, so it's like not just West Hawaii, it's all over. They're saying, oh my gosh, the affordability in East Hawaii is still a draw compared to where they are on the mainland.
East Hawaii is beautiful.
Yeah. And so
so
they go, okay, maybe this is the time to jump into a $350,000, $400,000 experience. But there are other people who are also saying, I had a goal to retire in Hawaii and I can sell my house on the mainland, and whatever happens, whatever they get for it, they're like this, I'm coming.
Yeah.
So
how much older are you going to get?
Right. And every year that you waiting for something, then that's one more year you're not sitting in Hawaii enjoying the fog.
It's foggy today.
It's really foggy today.
It's like, I haven't seen it this bad in a while. So I was
and you know what? If you look at the lava lake, it looks like it's actually crusting over.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know what this is.
So I don't know.
Yeah. So that's another thing, like the black swan of Hawaii.
Last few days. That's what this is.
Oh, is it?
What?
New movement.
New movement. It's been.
Maybe I need to get out there again. I haven't.
Well, also, just so you guys know, this is how when you come to Hawaii, this is what we talk about. They had a high wind warning with Kahala. It's blowing down trees. So I think that there's unsettled air mass going on right now. So it's sucking all this stuff over to us. Where I think it was pushing it back to East Hawaii for a little while.
A little while back.
Yeah.
Sometimes it builds up out there. Like you say, it starts going off one way, and then the winds change, and it pushes it back, and it picks up what's coming out new, and it's mixing in the old with it, and you get the double whammy.
Yeah.
So,
but I'll tell you guys again. If you guys love West Hawaii, you know why you love West Hawaii. I was in Maui on Tuesday with my friend. We were being wind whipped almost everywhere we went on the island.
Yeah.
Because Maui doesn't have mountains and stuff, so you're dealing with wind whip, and like we laugh about Waikoloa, but our little town is in this little happy moment that we don't get the annoying of the wind whipping all the time.
Every day, the news will give the news report, and I'm telling you, probably 360 out of 365 days this year, they'll go through all the report and they'll say, except for Kona.
Really? They'll say that?
Hawaii News Now. If you can watch it online, Hawaii News Now. Watch I always watch the 6 o'clock reports, my favorite. I think they start at 4:30 a.m. Hawaii time, but you watch Guy and you watch his report, and it's boom, 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 all the islands, everything else except for Kona.
Yeah.
And it's because of those mountains, and we have our own wind pattern, we have our own weather pattern.
Yeah.
The trade winds don't get us like the rest of the island.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because you hear like, there's flooding in Oahu and Maui, and you're like, oh, well, it's beautiful and sunny here in Kona.
Anybody that knows Kona coffee knows that it can only be grown in this certain region in Kona, and it's at a certain elevation. And you would think, why not on the other islands at elevations? Because of the microclimate that's created here,
right? And
in Kona.
The wind would whip the little cone of snow right off the branches.
Yeah.
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 So it works out perfectly. So again, as we're kind of like, well, like, you know,
we went way off track way early.
I know we do
need
this.
to get. I'm going to jump over
I know.
the
So,
numbers.
but we're going to talk about the reason why he's going to talk about what's happening with the housing prices, because at the end of the day, people still know it's a great place to live. So,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So, sorry guys. So, supply and demand, again, we were talking about it. We noticed that our inventory still sitting around 100 homes available. We've been at that number for 6 months, I think.
Wow.
So, and we should be again at 160 or so.
Yeah.
So, we're not where we should be.
Right.
So, the median price a year ago, January, was $1,070,000, and it was $1.2 million this January. So, we have a 12% increase over last year's median home price.
Okay. Let me tell you guys, though, you cannot find anything for sale in the $700,000 and $800,000 range. So
Yeah,
we're
there's
not
nothing.
getting that lower inventory to offset these $2 million houses
Yeah.
that are out there right now. So I think that is something.
That's the part, because they're scared. You know, you're getting this fear factor. I'm not going to list because there's nothing to buy.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
how do you end that cycle?
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. It's kind of like the stalemate.
Not by
of, like,
raising the interest rates.
I know, right?
That's not going to help.
Yeah,
it.
people
So,
trying to like move up market, which doesn't really happen in Hawaii as much as it does on the mainland. It's just there's no place to move up to that is you get to keep
Yeah.
your, like, you know. So people are staying in their little houses with their little great, you know, interest rate. So when you guys hear about what was it? 1 point what for the average?
1.2 million.
1.2 million. There's some like we're thinking about doing a video of what you can buy in Hawaii for $900,000 because there's
There you go.
actually about 14 different houses for $900,000. So
Yeah, I'm going to chime in here. Lance Bond is watching. Nancy is watching. JD is watching. Lance says
Hey, guys.
aloha. And
Hi, Lance.
Jennifer S.
Aloha.
says,
okay, Jennifer's looking for a home right now too.
Right, she says, hi, Julie. And then she says, I'll rent that income property. That's what she
Ah, there we go. See,
It's already rented. There you go.
no, actually, it looks like 1970s hell right now. So we're gonna make it actually look nice. But what we're hoping to do, you guys out in the world, is make it available to our 365 people who need a place to land while they're out looking for homes.
Yeah, that's
and then we
gonna
got
be
our car
awesome.
to go with.
Yeah.
So you get a place to live and you get a car. How awesome is that? So,
That's going to be great. That's going to be very, very helpful.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
all right, we'll jump over to condos real quick. What's happening in the condo market? Same thing. I don't even need to go back. It's down 43%. Okay.
In terms of inventory.
In terms of amount of sales compared to a year ago.
Okay, so the sales have
So
dropped.
sales have gone in half, or, you know, a little bit more than half, or a little less than half. I'm sorry. And the median price for condos. So this is a little bit interesting. The median price for condos is not that far off from what it was a year ago. Yeah. So it's $475 a year ago. It's $482.5.
Okay, so it's kind of holding.
1% change.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
1.5%. So we want to know what's happening today, right now. So I just ran from January 1st to today, to 20 minutes ago, okay, to see what's happening on days on market. So what is the average days on market right now? The average days on market for a home are 35 days. The median is 21 days. Okay, so on the sale to original price, it's at 95% is the average. So there's talking about your price reduction,
Right. So, if you guys just get a look down in East Hawaii, it's running 93 to 96, and so ours is 95.
95 to 98.
98,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
so there you go.
So yeah. So 97.2. I'm sorry, on medium, and 95 on average, and then on sale to current price is at 98%. So people are lowering the price and then getting the offer that they should have got.
If they had just priced it normally,
yeah,
they got on
yeah.
there.
They carried their mortgage, they carried their insurance, they carried their taxes and everything else, you know, for another month to try to make money that just wasn't on the table.
Yeah,
So,
no one talks about that.
yeah.
The
There's a lot of
sellers
carrying
actually
costs.
lose money hanging onto their house for longer than they should
Yeah.
because they're trying to make an extra buck.
And they keep, you know, I hear them justify it to themselves. Well, I was paying that anyways. Well, you were paying it anyways until you sold it. You know, I mean, it cost you money.
Yeah.
There's money. If you'd have sold it 2 months ago at the right price, you would have another $5,000 in your pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
Sometimes people on our YouTube channel are sellers or homeowners looking at
Uh-huh.
what we're talking about. And so just so you guys know, if you're thinking about selling your home, that's the reason why you hire a realtor who actually just comps in the neighborhood and gives you good advice about the price that your house is going to sell quickly for
Yeah.
instead of the one that you're going to come up with
Yep.
thinking that it's still 2021, but then you're not going to figure it out until a month later. Because there's a lot of houses sitting on the market right now.
Yep. And we got, I mean, it's funny because I just went to one today on Caravan, one of the ones, I won't call it out or anything, but we had used that as our price point for some people that watch this channel and had decided to use us to sell their home. Mm-hmm. So they reached out to us. We looked at that home. We looked at days on market. We decided to come in at a reasonable price. It was less than that one. It wasn't put out there to beat it. We had a little bit better ocean view and things like that. But we realized that number is not the number to sell at because that house hadn't sold for 60 days. Mm. And so we priced it a little bit before that, and we sold it before it came on market.
Wow.
It was in preview, and we sold it in that house.
How much? What?
It's still in the market today.
Oh, the house that you were
They
going
pulled
against?
it. They went through their 3 or 4 months and pulled it from that realtor, and then they relisted it with a new realtor now. I don't think the price is right yet, but
there we go.
We'll see. But I mean, here they are.
We laugh and say the price is the correct price is the one that it sells at.
Yeah.
The incorrect price is the one that sits on the market.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's when sometimes, like I tell these guys, if you see a house that's been on the market for quite a long time, bring in, an offer, maybe an offer that's a little bit lower. But sometimes these sellers are like this. That's what I want for my house.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take another lower offer. You leave. And then they go leave, and then they're as we say, they're owners, not sellers.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what they are. Yeah. So, all right. So I'm going to pull up that number for the condos just to see, because you were asking about your friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yes.
let's just.
Because if the median price of a condo in Condo is $500, that could seem a little bit.
Okay, it's pulling it up now. Internet's slow today, huh? So let's look at our summary on condos, and it is the average of sale to original price is 97%.
97.
So.
Okay.
That's not bad. And average days on the market's 26. Median is 9.
So that's just it. So if you price it right.
You price it right, it's gone.
Going.
Yeah.
So there you go. But then you got sellers who, they want to hit a number.
It's their home, and if they want to keep owning it,
they want to keep living in Hawaii.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's
but the good news is, you guys, if you are looking, the fact is that it doesn't hurt to have your agent call the other agent and see how steadfast they are. Right? Can you do that? Yeah.
Always reach out to the listing agent and say,
just go, hey, what's happening here?
Sometimes my favorite line is, okay, I know what it will sell for. It'll sell for that $700,000 you're asking, but can you tell me what it won't sell for? And that's the key word to ask if something's
it won't sell for, like $650.
Yeah, we've had 2 offers at $650, so I know they're not going to take that. Okay, let me call my buyers and tell them $700 will buy it, $650 won't.
There you go. So
what do you want to do? You want to write a check for $700? Do you want to go somewhere in between there?
Yeah.
Because we know that other number won't work.
Yep. So that's, I know, before I started doing all this with you guys and got my license, I didn't know that kind of was like the little thing that you almost have an agent that says to the other agent, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Where I think sometimes buyers just think that they just have to throw their offer out and that's the end of it. There's definitely information, intel that a good agent will go afterwards.
Relationships.
Yeah.
You want a realtor that's been around for a long time, that knows the other realtors and can pick up that phone at 10 o'clock on a Friday night and say, well, maybe not 10, because that realtor might not remember what they said the next day.
They won't give you a good deal.
Maybe it would be a good time to call them. I don't know. But it means somebody that can pick up that phone and call that other realtor and say, hey, you've been out there 60 days. What's going on? And if you're an active, busy realtor, you also know in your listings, we haven't got a ton of showings on it. And I know what the market's like right now.
Yeah.
So the condo market is a little bit softer right now. We're not getting the showings on our listing that we have right now in a condo. No. And our price is fair, and we've been sitting out there a month now.
So okay.
So it is, but we looked at the current numbers that are actually up to date as of 20 minutes ago. So, so we just got to watch. You got to stay tuned and keep watching. But with the couple of signs with the mortgage applications up 25%, with the new listings, we talked about new listings on homes. So on condos, last year there was 98 new listings in the month of January. This year there was 58 new listings for condos. Yeah. So that's 40 difference, right?
Yeah.
So that's a 40% difference.
Yeah.
So that's huge.
If you were going to put your condo on the market now, what would you say? What would you do? Because obviously, there's less competition, right? But you've got picky buyers, right? So you look what's out there and maybe go just a tad, a little bit lower, so you're not chasing down the market, but you put in a good, strong offer in the beginning.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to go.
Okay.
Is to come in, right? The market's going to tell you what it's worth. Just like with the home that you guys got, they priced it right. They had multiple offers. If they priced it wrong, you would have been the only offer out there, and then you would have been saying, 3 weeks from now, damn, did we pay too much?
Right.
So now you paid the right price because there was multiple offers, and you don't have to go to bed at night wondering if you paid too much. But that's where you want to do all the reports, and you want to look at all the numbers, and you want to look at yearly numbers and see what's happening, and talk to somebody. Obviously, Julie and I and Eric are all realtors. We want your business. That's why we do this. So we don't get paid to do this. We make fun that we have sponsors. I'm gonna try and get Torpedo to sponsor me now. But it is experience, and relationships is the most important thing.
Yeah.
So hopefully you use us. We're here for you. But if not, get somebody that has it. And we all started someplace. We were all new. But you want to make sure they're working with someone that's experienced very closely, that's like holding their hand and doing things. So.
And it's funny you talk about the real estate relationships. That that's why Eric joined the board of realtors at the Association of Realtors. I am now the chair of the programs committee for the real estate. So see how that works? So it's like, who you know. So yeah.
Who you know, who you can call and ask the questions.
Yep. So do we have any questions from the old peanut gallery on Facebook?
Nobody's wondering why I'm drinking Torpedo tonight?
It's a quiet crowd tonight.
Quiet crowd tonight. All
right, I got a little fun facts. So, you guys on the Facebook page saw I put the link in there to all the market reports. Well, you guys have been following this for a long time. Know that Julie and Eric did the home show last month, and we did some stuff there. We put together a bunch of these books with all kinds of data and everything. We had it out at the home show, but we made a link to it in the books if you scan the code. But the good news for you, if you go to that link on the Facebook page right now, you will get to it. And one of the things I love is this buyer statistics. And this is really interesting because you hear everybody's talking about who's coming in and who's buying.
Right.
Is it the Chinese? Is it the Japanese? Is it the Californians? Is it the Montanans? What?
Texans.
Who is it? Texans. What? Oh, really quick. So we were picking up my wife's truck from the port 2 days ago. We shipped it in on Pasha. And we brought our truck in from Texas. And there was 3 other cars there from Texas. So I don't know what's going on with Texas,
I'll tell you what's going on. We get these phone calls. People in Texas who like wide open spaces, they're building and building and building in Texas, and these people are saying, I'm being encroached on, and if I can come to Big Island, I'll get a chance to kind of like spread out myself and just kind of say, I don't want people next to me.
Yeah.
So that's I've heard that 3 or 4 times now. Yeah. So
I don't blame them.
I'm like
Top
this.
states by number of sales.
I'm like this. I'll be lonely then.
This is a third quarter report.
Oh, okay.
Top states by, we don't have the fourth quarter yet, sorry. Top states by number of sales. Hawaii, 12,922 people that were from Hawaii bought in Hawaii. This is for statewide, you guys, okay? Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is top foreign buyers for Hawaii. Yeah, that's for the state. I got Big Island numbers too on the back. So 12,000 from Hawaii. From California, 1,746. Washington State was 389. Colorado was 169. Texas was 158. Oregon was 149. Nevada 142. Utah 125. Arizona 112. And New York 89 people. Wow. Top state, I'm just going to read the 2. Top states by dollar amount, $10 billion from Hawaii and $2 billion from California. Wow. Let's go to our foreign buyers. This is by region. So in Kona itself, what do we got here? There was one foreign buyer in Kona, and that was from Canada. North Kohala saw 2 Canadian purchasers. Kohala Coast itself saw 27 Canadians purchase there, 3 Japanese purchase there, 1 Korean, 1 Austria, and 1 New Zealand. Wow. So the full report's on that page, you guys. You can look at these numbers yourself, and lots of extra bonuses on there.
Okay,
Remember all the things we were looking at on there?
There's all kinds of. If you love digging into stats, it's a beautiful thing. You know what's interesting? Because remember when the Canadians were like a major driving force of housing here on the island, and now their trade rate is like $1.35 for our dollar, which kind of it makes a difference in terms of housing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's a lot. So it's kind of like put a kibosh on the old Canadians coming in.
I'm surprised to see so many of them buying here right now, you guys. So that number actually did surprise me to see that high number, because they used to be huge.
Yeah.
I used to, back 15 years ago, it was a pretty big deal to have a little widget on your home screen of your computer.
Oh, did you a transition of
it showed me
money?
daily what the trading rate was for
go.
Canadians to American money, and so when it was on par or a little bit better, they were flocking here, buying a lot of condos and homes and things like that. And then when their dollar sunk, they sold because
they had more money.
Yeah, they had more. So it was pretty cool. They made some good money, and so to see them coming in puts a little signal in my head of something. I just want to watch. I'm probably going to look for that little widget of the
and see what they're
foreign
doing it,
currency exchange and see what's going on there. So
especially as foreign buyers can't buy in Canada right now.
Right. Foreign buyers can't buy there, so what's happening with them? I don't know. It's just interesting, because it's not just what's happening in our economy; it's what's happening in their economy. They were on super heavy lockdown, so that may be part of it. They wanted to come to America and buy more. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
If you're Canadian, let us know in the comments below. So,
politely.
Right. Yes. What else is I'm trying to think. What else is trending in terms of what's going on with the housing market? Obviously, the rates is one thing. Demand is another. People, I think, are starting to realize that the housing market is not going to crash.
Yeah, I think so.
And so I think that they're saying, oh, okay. And maybe that's the reason why it looks like this thing. But you know what? We were looking at some statistics from the mainland market. Mm-hmm. And Amber was talking about this. There's 35 offers on houses. So whatever happens usually on mainland usually ends up over here.
Yeah.
So I think people are throwing money at housing again because they realize that things aren't as dire as they had envisioned.
Yep.
And that
the crash didn't happen.
And the rates aren't going to get that much better than they already are right now.
Yeah.
And people still need to find housing for a variety of reasons. They just got married. They're going to have children. The things that happen in life.
Yep.
And so
job changes.
Yep. So
they make more money. They make less money. All these things in life.
And I think they
bigger
pulled
boat,
out of the
smaller
market.
boat. Yeah.
Right. So they've been pulling out of the market for the last 4 or 5 months, and then you got sellers going and then all of a sudden the buyers are going like this. I got a deal on this. They tell their friends hey, you got a deal. Then boom, 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 boom. And so now there's more of this buyer demand, and also they're coming into the spring season on the mainland too. So they're saying that the spring market might be a surprising market.
My brother, I think I've mentioned this before, not a lot, but my brother has 7 offices in the Midwest. He's in Illinois. All the towns that end with Ville. Maryville, Edwardsville. I can't think of all of them, but they all end in Villes. And they're getting multiple offers and seeing that too.
Right now too?
So, so it's interesting.
Maybe this is a time to actually, all these people watching, sell your house now.
Yeah.
Experience the up, and then come over here before we get too crazy
before
on
it gets
the up.
back here,
and then that way sell high, buy low, right?
Because we're seeing that lull that happens because a lot of people had to sell their home to get here, so that lull happened, and they were sitting there. Now they're seeing multiple offers coming back, so now they're going up back in the market. So they're going to be back in the market once they're in escrow. They're probably going to start shopping here. So my house closes in 3 weeks,
and then they'll have cash to walk around with.
They'll have the money hanging out of their top shirt pockets.
Yep. Here, cash.
Yeah.
And, I get a couple people who are like, still at FHA or VA, and they're saying, you know what, I have opportunities here. And if it's all cash again, then it's hard.
Marla did a presentation in our office. You guys know the Wins. They do a lot of our financing for our clients on this channel and here locally. But one thing I didn't realize was that when you buy down that rate, you guys have probably heard of the 3-2. I'll let a mortgage person explain that to you better. But say the rates do drop down to 5.5, and you get the feeling that that's as low as it's going to go, and you just want to go refinance it. That buy down that money, because all that money is an offset of the payments that you would have been making. It's not rocket science to figure it out. So that money's in an escrow account, and you can get part of that money back that was bought down. So that's kind of
Yeah, they'll hold it
interesting.
for you, yeah.
So say you bought down the rate for $20,000 to get a 2% break the first year and a 1% the second year. You know, if I'm right,
if you're right
on the interest rate's 5.5, you know, then they might refinance at the time, and there's money that was put into escrow. That many of the loans, I'm not saying yours will. Check with read that
lender.
fine print, read with your lender, but a lot of them do have that money in escrow, and that money does come back.
Yeah, you didn't lose it.
Yeah,
So,
and back in the day when I was fighting at 9% interest and things like that, they were putting in a 2-year. What's the name of the con? They would fine you money if you refinance within 2 years.
Oh.
So when I got my rate at a 6.5% interest when everybody else was paying 9%, and if I refinanced it within 2 years, I had a prepayment penalty.
Penalty.
Yeah.
I had that in 2005.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was funny because I got up and walked out of a mortgage lender's office because I told him that was the one thing. I said, lots of things can be in that contract, but I said, I will not sign up for a prepay penalty. And he's like, oh, I'll make sure you don't do that. We're on page 7 of that 23-page contract. I see that, and I said, what is this? What is this? And he's like, well, it's the only way we could get you the loan, Lance. I'm sorry. I said, no, I don't think you understood. I made that absolutely clear. It was the one thing that I made absolutely clear. And I said, I'm going to get up and leave. If this stays on there, can you get rid of it? And he made a call and he says, I can't. Got up and walked out of his office.
Oh.
I ran into him about 5 years later, and he said in his 20 years, nobody's ever got up and walked out of his office on page 8 of the contract. You know?
That's amazing.
So it was
we were in the same position, and we didn't know that we could stand up and walk out.
Yeah.
We're like, well, this doesn't seem fair.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, that's the only way you guys are going to get this house
That's
at
the
this
way
rate,
he
blah, blah,
told me.
blah. And they kind of went in and they kind of like pushed you into it because, 2004, 2005, that's what they were doing. And I'm telling you guys, I know most of you guys are, I think a lot of these people on this call are experienced home buyers. But literally, if you don't like the terms, stand up and walk out.
Yourself.
Yep.
It was principle, and excuse my language, but I had really screwed myself at that moment because I had just given my notice because I knew I was signing that paper. It was when I was becoming a realtor, and I had my license, and I was transitioning over, and I needed $50,000 to get my life. I knew I was going to have a tough year, so I pulled out $50,000 on my home equity, and I got up and walked out of the office just out of principle, and I'm just like, man, did I just really screw myself on that? But that's okay. I'm standing up for myself. And I went home. I said, you know what? I called up my people I had my current loan with and said, can I get $50,000 extra on my home?
Oh.
And they said, yeah. And I said, do I need appraisal or anything? They said, no. You've been payment good. Everything's solid. No. We'll send people over to sign the paperwork. And I was done a much better rate and everything else. So without a prepayment penalty.
There you guys. Yeah, but I'm hoping that they don't. That's predatory lending. Hopefully, that's kind of like gone away at this point.
Yeah, that's all part of the
Frank and Dodd.
Yeah, Dodd-Frank
thing.
And but with your truth in lending,
TIL,
yeah.
right? Truth in lending.
So you get that statement in the early, and you get that statement at the end of what things are going to cost you, and if that changes, it can't change legally by much, or they got to redo everything.
Yeah.
So you
don't bury that stuff the way they used to.
Yeah.
You guys, seriously, it's so much easier. That's why we're so happy to be homeowners again.
Yes, I'm so excited for you guys.
We got a little sideways in 2005. So, yeah. So, and then you were going to talk about this hat. What are you guys doing on Sunday? Sunday. It's Super Bowl Sunday, and Lance is voting his little self there for the old Eagles, and they're playing against the Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs and the Eagles. And you might wonder why the hell I would pick the Eagles.
Why are you picking the Eagles?
I'm glad you asked me that.
Okay, I'm asking you that.
I went to Philadelphia in December for some training. It's December 1st and 2nd. And, you hang out down at the hotel bar in the hotels all the time. And I went out for a walk to Pat's Cheesesteaks. I forget the Pat's King of Steaks is the name. The original place that started the
cheesecake. I mean,
cheesesteak.
what do they call it? That
Philly cheesesteak.
Chili cheesesteak. Yeah.
Yeah. So I walked like 2 miles or a mile and a half or something to that place and ate there, and it was wonderful. And I was on my way back, and I was thirsty, and I stopped in a place called Ray's Happy Birthday Bar. It was a little hole in the wall.
Happy birthday bar.
And it was one of the checkpoints of my trip. These people were just wonderful. It was literally like I walked into a Cheers. It wasn't a hotel place. It wasn't. Everybody that walked in that door
Could say hi to somebody.
could say hi to almost everybody, and the bartender would have their drink waiting for them when they got there. I mean, every single person. You know, he might ask them, "You having a double again today?" You know, that type of thing. And then I ended up having so much fun. I was there for quite a while. And then
Welcome to Lance.
people are coming in, and I'm on my way to meet somebody or dinner or something, you know, because it was in the late afternoon, and they would leave, and all of a sudden I'd see them come back after. I'm like, oh, I've been here that long. It was a cash bar only, and it was like $2 a beer.
Oh.
And what were we drinking? Yin Yang or something was the local beer there that everybody was drinking. So I would just immersed myself with these people, and
In
they
the local
loved
custom.
me. And they loved me, and they went outside and they said, "We're going to win the Super Bowl this year," and they gave me this beanie.
Oh.
And so I told the one lady that I met there, and I said, "You have to promise me when I leave, I just want a random picture of you guys here, whenever. Just send it to me." So she sent me about 3 in the last 2 months.
Oh.
So and I send her a picture with me at the beach with this hat on and stuff like that. So
We are so lucky we don't have to wear these.
I know.
Maybe put them on the kayak. Yeah, in fact, Eric and I are actually going to be going to Lake Tahoe to go skiing in 2 weeks.
Awesome.
So we'll be wearing like a little beanie.
Yeah.
I wish I had the 49ers beanie, but whatever, they got kicked out. So I'll be voting for the Eagles too. Because
Awesome.
I think that the Chiefs beat out the Niners, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just like say, you know what, they're bad people. So
Yeah,
I'll go
they're
for
bad
that.
people. Get
so
rid of them.
put in the comments below who you're voting for.
Eric's
Eric's
giving
doing
us a
the
wrap.
thing. You know how you guys go.
Yeah.
So
All right.
for all of you guys over on Facebook who just enjoy our little banter, thank you very much. People on YouTube are probably already cut out by now.
Yeah, you guys didn't
So-
last this long, but we love you anyways. People that did make it this long.
So
I know
okay.
Rick makes it this long. Rick, if you're on there now, Rick actually came up to my house and got some ohia wood the other day.
Yeah.
He turned some. He's from Washington State, and he's bought a couple places here from me. And him and Lynette, and they're pretty awesome people. And but he came by for a couple beers and got some ohia wood. You might have seen on my Facebook page. He turned me 3 bowls that came out beautiful.
Nice.
So,
there you go.
yeah.
That's the
he's
cool
he's
thing.
on here. I hope he is.
Yeah.
I'll know because I'm not going to tell him I said this.
Yeah.
Shout out,
I see it.
so-
Yeah. So I think if it's after the 9th of next month, we'll be in the new place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to.
We'll make it happen. We'll just wait till we're in the new place.
Yeah, we'll just get into the
If it- yeah,
lockbox
if
and
it-
just
if
like during escrow, just like work on the.
You are a licensed realtor.
Yeah, can I do that? Okay, so we'll like crash the new house. But
Well,
you guys,
if we have to be a week late on our report too, we can just do that.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
I think we'll be early. Just scroll.
Good.
yeah, we'll see.
Awesome.
But you guys
Thanks,
are
you guys.
amazing. Thank you very much. We are wishing you also a happy Valentine's Day.
Happy
That's why I
Valentine's
wore
Day.
the purple and the fun little things. So there we go. So we got Super Bowl, Valentine's Day next month. We'll be maybe wearing green for St. Patrick's
Can I
Day.
give one last stupid thing?
Okay, let's hear it.
I was at Lowe's and I bought a vacuum. My wife's little shop vac was broken, and I was picking it up, and the lady behind the counter's looking at me, I'm paying for it, and I said, "You think my wife's gonna like this for Valentine's Day?" The lady looked at me like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" I said, "Well, it's red." Doesn't that count? And so she kept laughing. So
I hope you have a nice present for Kimmy.
yeah,
I hope it's not the back.
No. So, okay, you guys, thank
Okay,
you.
guys.
I'm sorry to keep you here, but have a
Okay.
great time.
Aloha.
Aloha.